Here's a word that we use a lot that I don't think we've sufficiently defined, and that word is engagement. So I think that we can plot engagement on a continuum from passive to active engagement. And I've got 6 steps in mind as we work through this from the passive end to the active end. So on the left-hand side of the continuum, on the passive end, we have awareness of place. So do our residents know the history, the culture, and the significance of the place in which they inhabit, either the city, the neighborhood, or even the block? The next step on this continuum is to read and stay informed. Do they know the sources of information that can truly, bring them value and reliable information about what's happening locally? The third step on this continuum is to communicate issues and concerns. Do they know that the community has a service request system, a 311 system, or do they know the numbers to call to bring attention to concerns that they have within their neighborhood? As we move into the final 3 steps, we're in the more active end of the continuum. So I would say next on this continuum would be to attend meetings and events. And this, my wife works in software sales, and I think that it's important to acknowledge that it's easier to retain a customer that is using all of the features of your product. And in this case, our product is our communities. So attending meetings and events, making sure that you know the opportunities that you have to be heard or to experience some of the rich offerings in the form of events that your community has to offer. Next is to volunteer within your community, to know and be able to access the opportunities that you have to volunteer, serve on boards, pick up trash, etc. And then the final step on this continuum is to lead. Now, I think that you could almost look at engagement as a marketing funnel. So how do we inbound people into the more passive end with awareness of place, up through reading and staying informed and communicating issues and concerns? We do that by using tools like outreach and communication. And in the more active end, that's really more leadership development. So what systems does our community have in place in order to facilitate people moving from, attending meetings and events to volunteering and ultimately leading in one aspect or another within our communities? So what do you think about this? Engagement as a continuum from passive to active, and how can we as community leaders look to move people along this marketing journey, if you will, from being passive to ultimately leading within our communities?